One example, simple example of defining cursor and fetching records from the cursor. So we have some tables here. This is one table, batsman, and there is one more table, rating. Okay. In this table, batsman, there are 5 records of batsmen. Fine. Now, if I want to access records from this table batsman, fine. So now I'm going to define one cursor, and then using that cursor, I'll fetch one by one records and will display the fields from this cursor. So cursor is similar to your C file. In file, what you do, you define the file pointer, then you open the file, you place the pointer on the first record, then you read that record, you give increment in the file pointer, okay, then it will point onto the second record, then you read again. If you want to manipulate, you manipulate and again save the values. Fine. So likes file, we have to open, we have to define the cursor, then we are going to open cursor, we are going to fetch from the cursor, we need to write the condition for exit, and then we are going to close the cursor. But it is very easy in comparison with the file. We don't have to define any pointer or something like that, and the um, pointer will move automatically when you are going to write it in the loop. Okay, so the basic commands or the basic flow, this flow you need to remember only. So the basic flow while we are using the cursor, first is what? Step 1 is declaration of cursor. Okay, so we have to declare the cursor. Then we need to open the cursor, fetch records in the loop, because if you don't write loop, then it will fetch only one record and then it will stop. Okay, because the pointer will not move on the next record. So fetching of record should be done in the loop. Then whatever logic you want to apply, that you can write. Okay, then condition to exit from the loop, and the last thing is close the cursor. Okay, after your work is done, you need to close the cursor. So these are the basic steps when we are dealing with cursor. Now I'm defining the cursor. First of all, declaration of cursor or defining the cursor. To define the cursor, we need to write cursor name. Always whenever I'm going to define cursor, it will be written with C underscore as the starting characters. Why? Because it is a cursor. That is why I'll write like this. If you want, you can use any other valid variable name. No problem with that. Okay, but this is naming convention, and it should be very easy to look at the variable and identify what does that represent, and that is why I'm using this. You may also write like this, CUR underscore some name. Okay, and always I'm going to write record variable name with initial characters R underscore, so that you can identify that this is the record variable. Okay, so cursor C underscore batsman is, and then any select query, any valid select statement. Okay, so I'm writing select star from batsman, the simple query. Okay, which will access all the records from the batsman table, all the fields, and then it will be stored into C underscore batsman. Now when you are using cursor, each record which is fetched from the cursor should be stored in some record variable. So we need to define record variable also, and record variable would be defined like this: variable name, which is r underscore batsman, and then we are going to write percentage row type. Okay, but this percentage row type, this record variable belongs to which cursor? It belongs to c underscore batsman. So before percentage row type, we are going to specify cursor's name. So before percentage row type, you can write any table name or any cursor name. Okay, table name like batsman percentage row type is also valid. C underscore batsman percentage row type is also valid. Here we have to specify C underscore batsman because this variable will fetch records from the cursor. Okay, then we'll write all the statements which are used for fetching records from the cursor. So the first thing, we are done with this. Okay, declaration of cursor is done. Now the second step is what? Opening the cursor. Okay, so the statement to open the cursor is open cursor name. That's
Ma'am,
yes.
ma'am, why did we specify the R underscore batsman for the row type? I didn't get that.
This is a variable name. You can write any other variable name also.
Okay.
Okay, so see, basically when we have defined the cursor C underscore batsman, the query written was which query? Select star from batsman, right?
Yes.
So it will fetch all the records, all these records 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it is stored into C underscore batsman cursor. When you are going to fetch one by one records, all the entire record, suppose we are on the first position, I mean on the first record. So when you fetch this record, the whole record will be stored into r underscore batsman. Okay. Whole,
Okay. So record wise, it will be stored in R underscore batsman.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now the next thing is we need to fetch each record in the loop. Okay, now see, if we don't do this in the loop, then what will happen? I'm just writing fetch command and then will display the output. So to fetch records from the cursor, we have to write fetch C batsman into R batsman. Now what does that mean? Fetch from cursor C batsman and store that record into r underscore batsman. This is the variable name. Okay, so like we we I mean we talk in the English language, and when we say that fetch this record from the cursor and store it in this variable record variable, so it's similar to that. Fetch C batsman cursor and store the record into r underscore batsman. Now which record will be stored into this r batsman? So whatever record the cursor is pointing, okay, that record will be fetched. Now we have opened this cursor right now, so where your cursor will be pointing? On the first record. So right now it will fetch the first record only, right? Because only one fetch record has been one fetch statement has been written. Now after fetching this, I just want to display the output. So I'm writing dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. Uh, the statement is what? Select star from batsman. So we have all the three fields: batsman ID, name, and country. Okay, but I don't want to display batsman ID because it is just for the unique identification. It has nothing to do with the batsman. Okay, so this is just for unique identification, and that's why I don't want to display it. I want to display only name and country. So I'm writing here and specifying name, and it should be concatenated with country. Okay, so this will be two fields that is displayed when I run this program. But name and country belongs to which table? It belongs to batsman table, but this batsman table is we cannot write directly batsman dot name, okay, because we are dealing with the cursor right now. So the record which is fetched from C batsman, it is stored into R batsman. So in R batsman, we have all the three fields: batsman ID, name, and country. So like we write table name dot field name. Here we are going to specify record variable name dot field name. Okay, so it should be written like this: R underscore batsman dot name, and same way R underscore batsman dot country. So from that record variable, it will display these two fields. After all the work is done, we have to close the cursor. So I'm writing close C underscore batsman. Fine. So this is done. Right now we have not done any iteration. Okay. So this will display only the first record. Let's see what output it will display at line 2. Okay. Some spelling mistake must be there. Cursor
The
C.
spelling of declare is wrong.
Right. So this is the error. Okay, there is one more. dbms underscore output dot put underscore line must be declared. Column 8. Output, spelling of output is wrong. And when it will be executed, it will display first record from the batsman table, as you can see here. Fine. Now see, I'm writing this fetch and dbms underscore output second time. So it will display first two records. Okay, so it is displaying first two records. Fine. So like see, we don't have to give increment in the file pointer, right? It will automatically increment it when we are going to fetch record. So once fetch is written, it will point on the second record. Fine. Now every time this is